Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled, Foolish Women Think Money Makes Them Equal to Men. Let's get right into it.
A boss bitch is never gonna find a man because she's pretty much an entry-level man. You're responsible for yourself. Congrats, babe. The only kind of man that you're gonna attract when you flaunt the fact that you don't need a man, you could take care of everything yourself, you pay all your bills, you have and own a business, you can buy every single thing that a man can for you and double it and keep it for yourself, and you take care of your own bills, house, and kids, is an authentically trash man that's gonna use you until the well runs dry and he runs to the next boss bitch, or a leech that's going to use you to build himself up and then leave. Now, if you're an alpha woman and you want a beta man so that you can be in charge, by all means, take what applies to you and leave the rest, boo boo. Two alphas cannot coexist peacefully without always fighting for power. Look at any animal kingdom, empire, or business structure. It just doesn't end well. And you'd be dumb to think that history repeating itself doesn't apply to your love life. All the characteristics that a boss bitch describes is the difference between being a 25-year-old boy and a 19-year-old man. Most people in Western culture consider you to be a boy if you depend on anybody else for your livelihood. And if for whatever reason that person helping you decides to stop helping you, it drastically affects your livelihood, boy. At any age, that's why you could be a 25-year-old boy. But if you flip that, you can have a 19-year-old man because you 100% take care of your responsibilities, wants, and needs, which is what every person is supposed to do, I fear. Nobody praises a man for owning a business and taking care of kids and paying bills. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are those not all descriptive characteristics of boss bitch? But that's not what I'm here for. Let me correct my verbiage before y'all lose y'all shit in the comments. A boss bitch is never gonna find a man if she flaunts being a boss bitch. You should always be able to provide for yourself and your own needs. But the reason why I say you should not flaunt it is because if you let a man know that you're independent, he will let you be independent to the end, bitch. You will struggle for the rest of your life letting a man know that you got it. I guarantee you that. Because their mentality is, if you can do everything for yourself, do it. How is he considered broke for not giving you money and gifts and things when you literally shouted from the rooftops and announced to all of social media land that you could double it and do it yourself? Like, if you can buy the whole earth twice, do it. Would you give Bill Gates $20? No, because you don't offer help to people that don't need it. Do yourself a favor and be that boss bitch strong independent women around other boss bitch strong independent women. Do me a favor and stop calling yourself a boss of any gender or any kind if you own a sole proprietorship or an LLC with nobody on your payroll. You're not helping anybody increase their livelihood or take care of their family, and you also have never picked up a business dinner check. You always ask for it to be split. That pisses me off. I haven't paid either, but I don't call myself a boss bitch is.
You know it's so funny. And by the way, shout out to this beautiful woman. Her name is No Context Yagas. All right, whatever, cool. I think she's very interesting because you know what? I don't mind if a woman has an attitude if she has an attitude for things like this. Yeah, that whole boss babeism, it's a whole farce. It's a farce. The idea that men want their equal is ridiculous. Women, you have been discontent with your standard in life. You're unhappy that God made your gift to the world be able to have kids and nurture kids. Which, by the way, it impresses men, right? Every man I know who's had a woman, let's say a wife, and she had a baby, he admires the fact that what she goes through to carry his child. He appreciates that from her. Okay. But women, y'all have thrown that to the side like that don't mean nothing anymore. What matters is the money, the bag, the bag. What y'all been trying to do is replace a man, but having a wallet doesn't replace a man. Money doesn't make you a man. If I give money to a dog, it's still a dog. Okay, bitch? It's still a dog, okay? So I think it's interesting that a woman is coming out and just saying the truth, okay? And I like that she has this type of energy for you girls. Okay, so by the way, girl of No Context, Yagas, if you see this, hit me up. I think you are very attractive, beautiful girl, especially the way you think. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. But I also have a guy that goes into further detail about this, a black man at that. Okay, a black man kind of tries to explain to you what I would normally explain to you, but I'm going to let him say it, and then I'm going to respond to it.
Look, my beautiful black queens, black women, we need you to go back to the original intent of why you were made. Look, we don't need you to be a boss bee. We don't need you to be a boss chick. We don't need you to be a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. We don't need none of that. Here's what we need. We need someone who can actually follow. Now look, you say that you want a leader, right? But the question that I would pose for you to ask yourself is, can you be led? We don't need you to always have something to say. We don't need you to be combative. We don't need you to be extremely opinionated all the time. And that doesn't mean that we're stripping you of your voice. We don't need unnecessary uncooperation. You know what we need? Sometimes we just need you to say, I trust you, honey, whatever you decide. I trust you, baby, whatever you decide. A lot of y'all just don't know how to talk to and communicate with your man in a way that's effective, meaning he actually receives what you're saying. So you complain about not having a lot of viable, good black men to choose from who are leaders. But when you do get a good black man in your life who is a leader, you don't know how to fall back and let him lead. Look,
and you know why they can't fall back? Because they're so accustomed to leading men. What did the girl in the prior video said? If you flaunt your money, the only man you're going to attract is a beta man. And so many women, I'm telling you, and they don't even know it, okay? It's so deep in their fabric. It's so woven in their fabric, right? The boss babe fabric, that they actually have no clue that the men they appeal to are weak men that they're going to have to take care of. Okay? Even if it's not financially, they're going to have to wear the pants. They're going to have to make the decision because he has no backbone to make the decision. And when you deal with a brother like me or any of these dudes who's getting money and making things happen, by the way, he had me clap my, loosen up my watch a little bit. When you deal with a brother like me or any other brother that's on his thing, doing his thing, we ain't going to go for that. No. Like the lady said prior, two alphas can't exist. That don't work like that. Not in nature, not in here. I don't want to have another alpha in my home. For what? For what? It's one too many. One too many. That's duplication. Why don't you offer something I can't offer? See, this is where people don't understand that you've learned a dogma to believe that men don't matter. We can replace them with money, and then when you get the money, you realize you can't get the man. You try to replace us with your wallet, and you did replace us because with your wallet, you can't have us. You can't have both, okay? There's some women that have the ability to be boss babes and be wise, but it's so rare, it's not even worth talking about. And because most likely their man's weak. Let's just tell the truth. And a lot of boss babes, they don't make that kind of money because they want to go 50-50. They make that kind of money so they never need to depend on a man. They don't got to depend on a man. Let me tell you something. You got to depend on a man for way more than money. Way more than money. I don't care if you're a boss babe. You're still going to need a man to lead you. Look, God has written this in Scripture. Written this in Scripture. Okay? And I don't understand why women keep pushing back at it. You ain't going to change it. Eve couldn't change it. All the other women in the Bible couldn't change it. You ain't going to change it either. Okay? It's better that you just assume the role that you were given, your divine femininity. Just assume the role. Stop fighting it. All this penis envy and worshiping what it means to be a man. Yeah, you think you want to be the boss. You think you want to be the leader. You think you want all this smoke. You think you want that. Okay? So if you're going to be a man, be it the whole way. Okay? God ordained it so I would die for you and you would submit to me. That's how it works. Right? I'm not just leading you from behind. I'm leading you from the front. That means if someone attacks, I get hit first. Y'all want that? Y'all want to be our shield? Or do you want me to be your shield? Let me know. Okay? Because your money, the only thing your money going to shield you from is a good man. That's it. Don't think your money going to protect you from the world, girl. You got money now. You got it all figured out. Oh, you got it all figured out. Yeah, just because you could buy the sperm and be a single mom by choice doesn't mean you could just replace a man. That's what a lot of these girls do. I got the money. I could buy the sperm. Now I could be a single mom by choice, and I'm gonna raise a child in a broken household from the jump. You're literally gonna start a broken household, and you're gonna pay for a broken household. That's what a lot of these women are doing. because they can't even fathom being led by a man, having to submit to a man. And then they turn around talking about God this, God this. God didn't tell you to be like that. God did not tell you to be a boss babe. I'm not saying that you can have no skills as far as business, no ambitions, none of this stuff. But in the Bible, it's very clear that you're not supposed to be a spiritual leader to men. Therefore, a lot of those women that are pastors and senior pastors, that ain't scripture. Okay, that's paganism. That ain't scripture. Scripture ain't say that. Okay, in fact, scripture says a lot of things against it. A lot of things against it. And you know what? It's okay if I just read the scripture and just tell you what it says. I'll just tell you what it says because apparently y'all think people making this up. Ain't nobody making this up. 1 Timothy 2:11, it says, let the women learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. That means shut the up, okay? For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Okay, so if you want to understand what that means, it's simple. Let women learn in silence, meaning that we don't want you to be dumb, we don't want you to be stupid, but we don't want you to be combative. Learn, okay? Actually use your ears, learn in silence. But I suffer not a woman teach, nor usurp authority over man. What does it mean to usurp? You guys need to Google, because when you read the Bible, okay, the Bible got some words y'all probably never even heard of, okay? Usurp means to assume authority. So he doesn't want you to usurp authority over the man. But that's what y'all become, boss babes, to have authority over the man. So God does not want you to do that. But to be in silence. And for Adam was formed first. Okay, there's a reason why man became before woman. And the order, that's the divine order, stays that way, man before woman. We are your head. Okay, man has headship over his woman. Okay, and for Adam was not deceived. They're talking about Genesis 3. Okay, this is Timothy. Timothy's later on in the Bible. Okay, 1,500 years later that this was written between this and Genesis. Genesis talks about how, Eve was deceived by the serpent. She was deceived, okay? That because you're vulnerable. The serpent went behind our back to get to you. The devil couldn't get through us directly. He had to go around us. He had to get to our dependents. Okay? That's how he broke our defenses. He broke our defenses by going through our dependents, okay? Adam wasn't deceived. Eve was deceived. Okay, you guys are vulnerable. Y'all fall for the okie doke. Y'all are easily deceived, and this is why we have all the single moms that we do right now, because y'all are easily deceived. It's so easy to deceive women. You just open up your eyes and look in the world. Women are the first one to fall for anything and everything. Every trend, everything you could think of, women are falling for. And that's why, just like the serpent, and it's very funny because this talks about in Genesis, just like the serpent went to Eve first, that's what's going on in our world now. In order to break down the black community, they go through the women. They deceive the women. Lyndon B. Johnson, The Great Society, right, where it's like if they'll provide for a woman, right, they'll give money to women if they keep the man out the house. That's how they deceive the women. A lot of women can't figure out, like, oh, yo, that ain't good. You can't replace a man with just money. So if the government give you money and say you get rid of the man, you're going to be in a deficit. Okay? Because the man could provide money, but more than just money. So if you take away the man and just give you money, you didn't make up the difference. There's still a disparity of what you have now. Okay? But women can't see that. They can't see it. The greed and the love of money is the root of all evil for this exact reason. You can be deceived by it. Okay? So if you value money more than you value men, we're going to end up exactly where we are right now. All these single mamas, all these baby mamas, and they turn around talking about, oh, I can get a high value man. Yup, oh, broke men pretend like rich men don't like single moms. We don't like single moms. Shout out to all single moms. I know some great single moms, but, someone said this in my comments, and I'm going to repeat it. I thought it was pretty funny. You know what I'm saying? Single moms are like, dating a single mom is like wearing another man's underwear. Ugh. Dating a single mom is like wearing another man's underwear. Ugh. Shout out to that commenter. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Channel blowing up. Shout out to everybody that purchased a hat. You're going to get them very soon. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.